Okay, so I'll just get started. Manish, I would request you to keep a tab on waiting room. If anybody is joining in, please let them in. Thank you. So let me quickly share my screen.
Sure, Shalini.
Okay, so I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Visible.
Okay, I'll just move this panel down. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So welcome you all to API Training Learning Program Orientation session today. So this is an initiative by Oprimes Academy to our Oprimes community. So welcome you all to Oprimes Academy Orientation session again, Oprimes Learning Made Easy. So the primary agenda of this session would be two things. One, we would be primarily helping you understand what is Oprimes Academy, and this would be done by our CEO, Mayank Mittal, founder Oprimes and Qualitrix, followed by orientation of the API testing learning program, where we would be talking and discussing about course outline, the topics that we would be covering in this course, the timeline, schedule, etc. At last, we will also have a Q&A sessions where our team would be open to take your questions and help you with the answers there. So moving ahead, a quick introduction about myself. I'm Shalini, a test manager with close to 9 years industry experience. I have been primarily involved in setting up QA processes and best practices for many growth stage startups to enterprise companies. My key area of expertise includes project delivery, solving complex QA problems, team leadership, coaching, mentoring, and test strategy. Currently, I've been associated with Qualitrix as a community manager, which is one of the largest QA crowd testing platforms in India. I've been earlier associated with LG Soft India as a mobile QA engineering expert. So I would now request Mr. Mayank Mittal to do a self-introduction and also address you all with the vision, objective, and provide you insights about Oprimes Academy. Over to you, Mayank.
Thank you so much, Shalini, and it is so much pleasure to see some of you here. Of course, our group is going to be even larger, but I'm so happy to see at least a good number of you could join this session. So welcome once again to Oprimes Academy, and it is really exciting to have this session. So actually speaking, this is one of the initial sessions that we are starting with the API learning program. And very quick introduction about myself. So I have now close to 20 years experience. It's not 16 now, it's almost 20 years experience in IT industry. I am an MBA and an engineer from IIT, and I know there are people from outside India as well here. So basically, I started Qualitrix in 2015, and since last 5 years, we have now grown as one of the leading QA companies in Indian market. And Oprimes is something that I started almost now 2.5 years back. The whole idea and agenda of Oprimes was to two-sided. One side was to give a lot of job opportunities to people, especially from college to joining the workforce. There is always a gap, so we were trying to find ways to create some work opportunities and create some kind of learning opportunities for people. And other side was a lot of demand from the industry for finding high-skilled QA engineers, so quality engineers, and on demand, having different kinds of skill sets, different kinds of device accesses, especially for consumer applications. So Oprimes basically was a solution that was bridging these gaps, and I will talk about it subsequently. So again, welcoming all of you. What I'll do today is I'll spend a very short time, maybe probably 7 to 8 minutes, talking about why we are doing this, what is the motive behind this, what you can gain out of it. And obviously, this is the first initiative by Oprimes community from our academy side. And there are going to be many more such initiatives in the near future via the community and in this academy. So again, very quickly about Oprimes. Like I said, we started in 2019, and currently we are a good, I would say, probably 30,000 plus testers in size. Thousands of testers that are working with us on a monthly basis. And these are spread in more than 100 countries. I know within this group today, we have people representing at least 12 different countries. Of course, some of you have not been able to join because of the time difference, but this whole training, the first API training program would probably cover people from 10 to 11 different countries. The Oprimes is basically a freelancer platform. And as you would all be knowing, because you're part of that community, that the whole interest or the intention of Oprimes is to make sure that you guys get to earn, you guys get to learn and then grow in your careers, and get different opportunities to work on different kind of projects, which probably you would not get working in an enterprise, working on one unit emission project. We do a lot of different kinds of testing, so multi-device, UX based, which is user experience based surveys, non-functional testing, content based testing, and of late we have also started doing chatbot and artificial intelligence based testing, which is complementing the AI using crowd. We are a lot of technology partners. Some are international, some are India centric that we work with. There are a lot of clients that we are already working with, helping them in their quality improvement. And I think some of these clients, even you might be, some of you might be working as well. As per Nelson Hall, which is a European agency, we are one of the top 10 companies in crowd testing space. Basically, we were placed probably sixth last year in the leadership quadrant for crowd testing. So let's come to the more important thing and interesting thing, that Oprimes Academy. What is it that we are going to do with this academy? The whole idea is to make learning easy. So I personally have identified that there is a huge gap in the industry in terms of what quality engineers were expected in 2010 and before versus what they're expected in 2021. Now today, it is more about advanced learning and advanced knowledge, and not just about functional knowledge of application. You may be very good in your understanding of application, but the same test engineer is expected to know even backend systems, APIs, databases, debugging skills. And that is becoming more and more critical, because that is the only value they're looking from quality engineers. It is no longer about just testing the specifications and giving a feedback based on that. Honestly speaking, that testing is dead now. And a lot of people are talking about how QA is evolving over time, right? So my view is that QA is now going to be two things. Either you become a coder, which is where you are going to be an automation engineer, you work with the development team, you automate everything possible, or you become a user. And in case when you are a user, that means you have to understand the product better than even your business development, business analyst that is working there. And in both the cases, you need to have certain level of in-depth knowledge, and which is something that is obviously there with probably 20-30% of the industry, because most of the testing people in the industry come with the more traditional background of doing graduation, learning on the job, basic test case writing techniques, then test execution methods, bug logging techniques, but they don't go beyond that. They don't understand how APIs, how technology, and whenever technology comes in, a lot of, especially us manual testers, start feeling that we have some limitations there. So that is the gap in the industry, which we are trying to bridge using this academy. Let's move on, shall we? And who are we, in a sense, what allows us to do this? So a lot of people that are part of this Oprimes community, say as Shalini or myself, even the people who are going to be your trainers, we all come from different companies with experience of working on live projects. We are still working in the industry. So what we have noticed that a lot of these trainers, right? They, there are a lot of training centers in India, even in the US that I have seen, which are providing basic testing skills or even advanced testing skills. But these trainers are mostly teachers. They are theoretical experts. So what they teach you is something that you can understand the concepts, but you don't know how to, put it in the projects. But what we know is not theoretical knowledge, is what we have been using on the projects. So that is what we are trying to bring and share with you guys as to how, say, a phone pay does API testing, because we work with these clients, right? How, say, a Vodafone does API testing, how a Google does API testing. So these kind of real world experiences is what we want to bring out and share with you. And that is the whole idea, of course, starting in the basic level and taking you in that journey as we go forward. Please move on. Yeah. Uh, what we're trying to achieve from this academy is four things. First is exposing all of you all and the entire 30,000-40,000 size of this community. Majority of people, we want to expose them to diverse skill sets, because the industry needs different skills now from you guys. So we want to expose you to more and more skills. We want to help you upskill yourselves and grow, because we want our community to be more and more, I would say, expert and adept at QA in all dimensions. And we also want to do a lot of cross learning, because there are specialists within yourselves. I mean, some of you might be already knowing API, and if not API, some might be knowing mobile testing very well. Some might be knowing debugging very well. So why not utilize it? Why not help each other? And that is what we are trying to build, that platform where maybe one of your trainers would be one of your colleagues in the community, and helping each other out. And finally, exposing you to latest tools and technologies. I mean, if you see QA, every day new tool is coming, from database tools to automation, scriptless automation. So many new tools are coming. As if you see enterprise market, then there is a tool for ERP testing. Within ERP also, SAP has a different tool preference, Salesforce has a different tool preference, Microsoft Dynamics. So there are so many things that are coming in. Obviously, you have your own career path and career track, but we can always help you get exposed to this. And I would be very, very happy if you guys start being our forerunners. Like, you guys take this training, but don't restrict yourselves to one training. Raise questions, reach out to us, tell us that, okay, Mayank, we want to learn this. I think the industry is going here. I want you all to be our representatives. Like, we have to do it together as one family. And that is the whole idea or the culture that I want to build of collaborative learning using Oprimes. Okay, let's move on, Shalini. Now, this could be a very, I would say a very simple and a naive question, that why are we suddenly doing it now? Why didn't we do it in last 2 years when Oprimes was already doing so many projects? So I'll be very frank with you. Market has changed significantly in last 6 months. I mean, I personally, because I run another company called Qualitrades, I have seen that we are finding extreme lack of good talent in the industry, and a lot of our customers are coming out to us and asking us, can you help us upskill people? In fact, I am running trainings for at least 5 or 6 different clients where we are actually grooming and upskilling people and deploying for them, okay, in QA. So why do we do it for our clients? Why not we do it for our community? It was the question that came up. So we have access to so many testers, right? Why don't we help and build some kind of a learning opportunity for them? So that was the whole intention, and maybe then we can channelize some of you guys to some interesting clients, or you yourselves can start finding better opportunities in the market. So the whole idea of this initiative is to help you upskill yourselves and give you a direction and help you find more opportunities to grow in your career. And that is the only motive that we have right now with this initiative. So use it to your advantage. Make use of whatever trainer is assigned to you. Since we are also new in this program, you may find certain areas where you think that, oh, this was not organized properly, this session could have been done better. Give us feedback, because we want to learn and we also want to improve. The whole idea is that, like I said, we are one community. We want to improve together as one team. And this community is now spread in more than 100 countries. I mean, 110 countries is what I remember last. And just imagine the power of this. So how much access you guys can have by utilizing this community, interacting with each other. And that is what I also want to leverage, get the benefit of it, and I want to share it back with each one of you. Anything else, Shalini? I think that's about it. We will have some question and answers at the end of it, but I'll just hand it over back to Shalini to talk about the program and specific the schedule and course curriculum, and then maybe take up any questions that you might have before we end. Shalini, over to you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for providing the insights of academy roadmap and the vision we have. Thank you. So moving ahead, we would be discussing next about the course outline, the timelines, etc. So let me just take you through the course outline. Okay, so after a lot of discussion with our internal experts and API testing experts, we have designed this course outline which primarily focuses on four topics, right? So one is understanding the fundamentals and concepts of APIs. Even before we actually test APIs manually, we need to have an understanding of what is APIs, what is web services, what kind of APIs are there, different types of APIs, the files that APIs generally as, the components of APIs, which is very, very crucial, right? Like status code, HTTPS, HTTP methods, parameters, its types, etc. Right? So even before we actually jump into how do we test API, what types of tools are used in testing APIs, I think understanding the fundamentals, understanding the concepts and or architecture and components of APIs is very, very critical. So the course outline is primarily focusing on that as a primary subject, followed by three things. One, how do we test an API? What type of API testing needs to be done? How do we validate an API end to end? The difference between front end and back end testing, what back end testing parameters we need to focus when we are actually validating and assessing an API. Then a postman tool usage. How do we install? I mean, the course outline is structured that way, where we also kind of help you and provide you reference materials and give you an idea about how do we install Postman, how do we execute and validate one API in Postman, how do we create collections, how do we create request, etc. At last, for every QA engineer, I think the primary focus is always a reporting, how good reports and results we can capture, which would help engineering team probably fix the issue better. I think reporting is also a crucial element here. So we have included that also as a part of course outline, where we would be providing you a kind of understanding about how we can actually design a report of testing an API. So these are four primary topics that we would be covering as part of this learning program, and the interactive sessions, which would be which are planned eventually, would be primarily focusing on this syllabus and course outline. So yeah, this is about the course outline. And moving ahead, the duration of this program is 8 weeks, where every week, Wednesday 7 to 8 p.m., an expert or a trainer from our side would actually drive an interactive session for all of you all, where they would be covering these topics. They would be providing you more insights on this topic, references, materials, etc. And you guys can also kind of leverage those sessions and post your queries, get more understanding about those subjects, have better clarity. If you guys have any questions, queries, you can always post to that expert and get those solved. So there would be 8 sessions where all these topics that we just discussed in previous slide in course outline would be covered as part of this interactive sessions. These are planned every Wednesday, 1 hour between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. We would definitely share you invites going forward. So yeah, this is the duration of the program. Last week there would be an assessment, which all of you will have to go through, for which there would be a certifications and rewards associated. So what is the key benefits of this entire program, right? Why have we designed it this way? Why the schedule is this way, etc. Like Mike was mentioning, the kind of demand that we have for highly skilled QA, even as a manual tester. So focusing all of those, I think the key benefits that we are trying to kind of derive here is one, definitely an advantage for a better job and project opportunities, where API testing is much in demand and you guys would be industry ready for API testing. And lastly, the more opportunity with Oprimes projects, and you would be able to earn, learn, and grow. Yeah, those are the key benefits. The outcomes that we are deriving out of this entire training program is one, based on your assessment at the last week, you would be certified Oprimes API tester based on the assessment and results. The second thing, for all the participants who would attend all 8 interactive sessions would be certified with the participation certificate on this completion of this training program. So yeah, this is the schedule and the outcome that we have kind of designed for this entire learning program. So moving ahead, so let's just get ready to kind of gain this, make best out of this program and try to learn as much as possible and upskill ourselves. So we are expecting program to start from 24th November 2021, that is next to next Wednesday, between 7 to 8 p.m. IST. We would, the team Oprimes separately send you guys an invite with the agenda, the topics that we would cover, and all the details of individual sessions that would happen over consecutive 8 Wednesdays. So now we are open to take questions from your side.
Shalini, we already have, I think, a couple of questions.
Yeah, so I will just
probably take the first one. So I think there are two generic questions. One is very simple. Are the sessions going to be recorded? Yes,
yes.
All the sessions will be recorded, including this one. And we will share the link and we'll upload them in the resources section in Oprimes platform.
Yes.
So you will be able to access them. And we will also try to create some kind of a WhatsApp group where we can interact if required, and you can post your questions, we can answer them. Of course, we don't want it to become too much noise, so we'll keep it a little moderated, but we will still see that how this could be set up. Like I said in the beginning, that there's always a learning here, so we will be open to your suggestions and inputs, and we will align ourselves, because the whole purpose is to make it easy and learnable for you. Okay, that's one thing. Second is the questions related to automation. Someone has asked about rest assured, someone has asked about GraphQL. See, this is the first program which is mainly to bridge you and give you an introduction to API testing using Postman. So basically, we are talking more about manual testing. Within Postman also, you can do some bit of automation, but I think we are just going to get you introduced and reach up to a certain level. Now, what we can do is that based on the outcome of this training, we can start planning an advanced session post that. Okay, that is something that is already in the pipeline, and we will plan it eventually. But this session, we want to keep it for people all at the same level, because we will not want to have that someone is a little bit ahead and someone is before. So we want to start with the introduction to APIs and take you to a journey where a manual API tester testing is something that you will be able to do, and you will be able to do it on projects, not just on paper, right? It is not going to be theoretical. So that is the intention and goal of this whole initiative. And if someone is learning fast, we will know it during the course of these sessions, and then we can suggest you that if you need to take up an advanced one. So I think do we need to pay fee for no fees at all? So Naira, this is completely initiative that we are taking up for our community. There is nothing involved, no hidden cost fees. So this is not no cost is associated. And the one thing that I need from you guys is your time. Okay, because a lot of you guys will show enthu right now, and then your work and all will make you busy, and then you will start missing sessions, and you will think that you will do it for 1 or 2 weeks, and after that you start falling behind. So my fees here is that each one of you should invest your time in learning and come out passing the final assessment that we'll do. And I want each one of you to pass it so that you get a certificate from us of Oprimes certified tester. And that is, I think, bigger fees than some bit of money that okay. Will this course help us in getting more projects in Oprimes? It could, because we are getting some API based projects which we are currently doing with a select group of people. So it will open up more avenues for us. But look at it from this point of view. The primary purpose of this is to strengthen your profile, strengthen your CV. Okay, so don't just restrict that projects on Oprimes. You will even probably get a better job opportunity in the market. And maybe, honestly speaking, in Qualtrics also, we have a lot of requirements. So if you are looking for any opportunities there, we can also offer you a lot of permanent and full-time job opportunities, depending on the learning that you will make and the involvement that you will keep during this course. Okay, but I'm not committing to anything. There is a question from Havinal. I've been a part of testing for close to 2 years now. Most of the projects are 1 to 2 weeks duration. Going forward, will there be long-term projects to work on? I think that is a question not relevant to this forum. We can always talk about them in a separate forum. Maybe you can raise a query and Shalini can take that up separately. But for this discussion, let us restrict it to API and this learning program and only questions related to this learning. Okay. There are definitely long-term projects. There are some of these testers are working on. But what happens, a lot of these projects are done by a select group of people. So like I said, since we have a community size which is pretty big, we are engaging a selective people who are working on a recurring basis. So very honestly, like more and more people coming and participating in these events, we get to know more of you, and that obviously our preference will start reaching out to more of you. So obviously it will help you in one way or the other to get more engaged with the community. And my whole interest is to start interacting and engaging with more of you as we go forward. Okay. Let me see if there's any other question.
The link for the all the sessions would be recorded, and the links would be available in the Oprimes tester profile resource section. Sairam.
Okay. And anyways, Shalini, you drop a mail with all these details so that people can refer to it. There's a question from Mufatwa. Sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. Mufatwa. He's saying that can a non-IT person find the course easy? What do you say about this, Shalini? Can a non-IT person find this easy? Because this is a bit of a technical learning. This is not a functional learning, right? So yes. What do you think about it?
So again, little bit of computer understanding and little bit of technical understanding would definitely be required here. Yeah, that would definitely require, because for you to understand what is API, a technical understanding is very much required.
Okay. Cool. There's a question from Arjun saying that is there a Slack chat or Skype group for all participants? So yes, Shalini, I think we should create one. I don't know which one you are planning to create, but
yeah. We are planning a GChat group, mine, because it would help all of them to kind of join in there, and they can post their queries. Our team would always be available there to kind of help them resolve their queries and respond quickly.
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. So I think it's not a WhatsApp group, it's a GChat group. Sorry, I was then Shraddha is asking again about automation API with Postman. So Shraddha, we definitely wanted, in fact, the person who's going to be your trainer, I mean, there are two trainers probably. One of the trainers is one of our lead automation engineers in API, and who has actually been involved in writing API frameworks for some of the top unicorn startups of India. Okay. So obviously I would have liked to train on automation API more and more. But what I got a feedback was that a lot of people in this forum want to have the basic understanding first.
Yes.
So I don't want to go that we start picking up automation. I mean, if the larger group wanted to pick that up, maybe we'll see if we can start introducing it over the last phase of the program. But since the schedule is very tight and a lot of people have, basic knowledge and almost no knowledge of APIs, starting automation for them will be a little too much in this session. But what I would request is that get this thing started. If we see that the pace of the group is faster, everybody is able to pick this up, maybe instead of 8 weeks, within 5 weeks, you're all ready with it. We can add more points in the course. I mean, it is something that is for you guys only. We can actually in one session, we can start talking about automated API also, because the trainer is expert in API automation and API manual both. And I mean, expert at the level where she has defined frameworks on Rest Assured, on Karate, on Postman. So she can take all your questions, but it is just that we want to have a defined course structure and you want to take one step at a time. So that is how we want to go forward. Yeah, but Shraddha, why are you restricting it to last phase? I mean, this is just the first phase, right? So we'll see how it goes. And if it goes well, we might even start right at the end of this phase. We can start the automated API testing immediately after that. So we can continue this because like I said, this is an initiative where we're not having any fee associated. It is more a mutual learning. And I'm honestly telling you, if so I think 55 people might have registered for this we've shortlisted this much only out of the total 112 people that have applied. If we don't see good participation, we will not be motivated. And I'm very happy to see that today almost like 45 people have joined.
Yeah.
So if we see a good participation, then obviously we will keep adding more things into it. I'm not going to stop just on the basic learning. But if the participation is not enough, then obviously the motivation will not be there. So that is something which is okay. I think that is all. I don't see any other questions. Any of you guys want to talk about your experiences, about what you feel about it? I'm very happy to see that. I mean, can you remove this, Shalini, the presentation here, so we can at least see some of
Yes.
it?
Just a minute.
You can continue recording, but you can remove this because we still have time. Just stop sharing your screen.
Just a minute, Mike.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Meanwhile, can I proceed about the thing that Mayank was telling?
Yeah, sure. You can switch on the video if you want, Anubha, and we can just hear from you guys that how do you find this initiative, any feedback or any, I mean, good, bad, ugly, whatever you want to share, you can please share about this initiative.
So from my end, the initiative is very good. Like for the manual tester, and learning the API is one of the main thing right now in the industry. So the main part, we can learn the API from the YouTube as well, but the lack point over here is that you do not get the APIs where you can test. You can do the hands-on. So we are getting this opportunity over here. At least we come to know how API testing actually goes. So it's a great initiative for the manual tester parts. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And we will definitely see and try to bring in some project flavors also, so give you some more exposure. So this is just a beginning, guys. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is just a beginning, and we will plan to do more and more. I mean, and more new things as much possible during the course of this engagement. Anybody else want to share their thoughts, views before we?
Hi, Mayank.
Hi, Arjun. I just saw your question. If we miss any bit during the session,
Yeah,
it'll hurt. It'll hurt me. Of course, you can miss it.
no, actually, the calls, like we will be having stand-ups and like
I
many
know.
times, like as we are
I
in
know
the
that
project.
happens. So see, we will give you recordings and all, and we'll do an assessment in the end. But I'll really request to make this more useful, and because you know what happens, one time you miss it, then it becomes a habit. Then it'll be like, oh, fine. And what happens that the trainer will lose motivation. So suppose 50 people have registered and 10 people are sitting in the classroom and trying to hear. So I know rest 40 will say we'll hear it recording session and all, but then the feeling goes away. I am not looking here to I could upload an Academy session and you can read there, right? The idea is to interact with you guys, get to know some of you, you get to know us, and then be a part of this, right? So let us try to be involved in whatever way possible. I think that is the whole intention of this. But of course, if you miss it, then I mean, of course, you can't do anything about it. So
No, but recording sessions will be there, right? So that we can catch up with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will provide this.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for this very good initiative. Actually, from past 10 years, I couldn't get chance to work with API testing, but I wanted to learn and I could not get chance. So like I have been part of Oprimes from past year, I can say, and I have taken up like almost 5 to 6 projects up to this. And it's a good exposure and great learning as well. I'm excited. Thanks for this. And talking to direct CEO, that's another thing. Great thing for that for us. Thanks for that.
No.
Okay.
It's really nice to get a chance to speak with at least some of you guys, right? So
yeah,
really
thank you.
Good. Nice. Will this course include scenario writing for testing APIs as well? I think, of course, Hanish, but honestly, I am not a techie, so maybe Shalini can answer that. But I am quite sure that is the most important part of it, isn't it?
Yes, that would be covered when we actually go on a concept 2 discussion, which includes how do we test APIs.
Shilpa, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So, hello everyone. I am from Switzerland. To be very frank, I am a tester of app laws from like last 5 years. and team Oprimes, Oprimes, someone says in German, Oprimes, reached out to us. And frankly, we were like still thinking we should attend it or not. We were not comfortable. Being an Indian, I only wanted because it's an Indian company, but we were not so confident. But after today's session, even we haven't started API, but after seeing you guys and the hard work and all the messages, I am definitely going to join this. And then, in fact, I had few projects which came to me, but I couldn't join because we were not comfortable. But now I will literally join the team for sure.
So Shilpa, where do you live in Switzerland? I have lived in Switzerland for 6 years.
I live in Basel.
I was working in Credit Suisse for 6 years. I was heading their testing there. So,
Okay, so you're in
Switzerland
Zurich?
is like a home for me. I was in Zurich.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's really
Credit
nice
Suisse.
to see someone from Switzerland here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And nice to talk to you guys. And Shalini too.
Thank you. Thanks, Shilpa.
Okay, good. I think that's all then. We still have time, but if there's nothing else, then we can close the session today. Shalini, over to you.
Yes, so I see somebody joining in now. Okay, so I think we are good to close this session. So two things. After this call, I would be sharing a quick a next plan of action and certain details to all of you all that we just discussed in this session. And also you all would get an invite to a GChat group where representative from our side would always be available to kind of interact with you guys and help you guys with this program. And next, the first session would be planned on 24th, that is next Wednesday. You would separately receive invite for that as well. So yeah, I think otherwise you can reach me or my team anytime if you guys have any questions on this program or overall on Oprimes as well. So you can mail us at team@oprimes.com. You already have that mail ID. And yeah, after GChat group, I think we all will be able to interact better.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so
much.
much, everyone. Thanks a lot for taking time. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.